Welcome. On today's podcast, we look at again the healing framework, the book that is written by Moses for me. And so I am looking at this book here and asking myself, why didn't I know about this framework before today? So this book is very interesting, and you could have a copy by clicking the link in the bio and maybe requesting a copy. After you read the first few pages, you could decide if you want to buy it. If you scan here, you get to something. Okay, maybe a video or a website. Now, first of all, the book starts by saying we need to understand that this whole thing is a story. This is not science, this is not reality, this is just a storybook. And in this story, the story is told that we as the human are basically composed of tiny functioning organelles. They are residing inside trillions of cells, and it's their function that contains or creates what is considered the organ. So, because it's a storybook, it has a lot of pictures. Again, it's a storybook, so all these pictures are just pictures. Many organs, but inside the organs you have cells. So, excluding the red blood cell and maybe the white blood cells, all cells are what constitutes or what comes together and say we want to become that organ. But when you go into the cell, you start realizing it's not really the cell that is a cell is a structure that is made, but it's made of two major characters. No, there are many other characters, but these two major characters are the focus of this book, which is called the framework. The character number one is called mitochondria, character number two is called ribosome. There seems to be war between them. In this story, there are about 500 to 2500 of this smaller one called mitochondria in each cell, and you have trillions of cells. Now, all the numbers here are just made up. There's nothing scientific, nothing real. And there are many ribosomes also. The framework is saying, or the story is saying, in the night, the ribosomes, they are the ones that does the restoration, the healing, or the lead. They are leaders, eh? So you see there is war, rivalry, and brewing among them because they lead troops. So the ribosome is leading the troops for repair, cleanup, restoration, and healing. So while you sleep at night, and that's why sleep is so important, you need to go into sleep so that the ribosome comes out and leads troops to clean them up. There are many other little infantry military guys in the story who helps the ribosome. Now, why the ribosome are so important? Because they are the ones inside the cells that takes the amino acids and make what is called protein, human protein. You do not eat protein from meat, beef, liver, eggs, chicken, tofu, quinoa, moringa, amino acid sources. You don't eat protein. You eat those things and they come into the acidic stomach, then they go into the small intestine, and if they are desirably broken down into amino acids, you get amino acids which gets into the cells here through the bloodstream. And in the night, no, not to say that it doesn't happen in the day, but in the night, the deep sleep brings out these guys, ribosomes. They come, they join together, they get a message from the nucleus, that central little core here, and it says to them, make protein blah blah blah. What is protein blah blah blah? Well, protein blah 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 is BH A A A L H, and so ribosome simply just put this together, just as how I sung it out. That is all ribosome does. Just pull a B, amino acid B, amino H, H A, and it sticks it together, and it says, here is your protein. They send it out. That protein goes to certain parts of the cells, or maybe certain parts of the body, other parts of the body, to other organs to heal them at night or during the state of deep rest. Darkness is important for mitochondria, for ribosomal function. Sleeping in a dark room is important for the ribosomes to do healing. Of course, you cannot say I'm sleeping in a dark room and the ribosome will just heal. No, the ribosome needs to get the substrate amino acids of at least the essential 8 or 9 amino acids. Let's stick with 9. So this is the framework we need to understand. In the evening, before you go to bed, your meal in the evening should be one that is rich in amino acids of at least the 9 essential amino acids. If some people say 8, that's fine. If some say 12, that's okay. But we need to get an amino acid rich meal, whether it is through supplement, whether it is through quinoa, tofu, edamame, tempeh, whatever sources you have, beef, liver, fish, get your amino acids in your body for the night. Now, in the day, when you wake up, you are flipping out to the big bad guy called mitochondria. The energy production cycle takes over, and mitochondria leads the army to produce energy. And they are well, as we said, about 2005 in every cell. They take in glucose, they pass it through a cycle, and then they bring out ATP. They may take some fatty acids and pass it through that cycle and bring out ATP. The thing is, we have to understand that this process here, when the mitochondria is running, it's running the process to make ATP. It might just have a little breakdown in the process, and so it creates something called ROS, and that is where we need to know ROS, reactive oxygen species. If it is broken down and not running well, it's gonna become a problem for us. So we need things like vitamin C. So you see your fruits, your plant-based foods, which is what you would be eating in the day, would come with vitamin C. But in the evening, you don't see vitamin C in the meats. Why? Because the meats are sources of amino acids. They don't run inside the mitochondria. Meats gives you amino acids. Amino acids don't go into the mitochondria to do much. Of course, the mitochondria does use some amino acids to repair its own self. That's a whole different discussion. So if we stick to this framework, we then start understanding the healing process of the body. We then understand that there is also the energy creation process, and that's when we speak about the balance of healing and the balance of energy. Energy is for the day. We look for sources of glucose, which is a plant. Evening, amino acids. We look for sources of amino acids, which generally comes in the most complete form from animal sources. Of course, this discussion is not about plants, neither is it about animals. It is about us becoming aware, becoming conscious of the substrates that are available and the time for the substrates. Whether it is in the day, glucose plus vitamin C, or fats from plants, oils from plants, and vitamin E, or whether it is in the evening, you are looking for amino acids and some other vitamins like D, E, K. You are looking for all that too, and some fatty acids, yes, and some vitamins also, and some minerals. You are looking for that. But the framework helps you to think in that way to ensure that whatever you are doing to heal your body gets done right. In the next part of this video, we could look at how medication, how exercise, how many other forms of stimulation follows this framework in the TRIO protocol. If you like this video, please feel free to subscribe. If you want some more information, a copy of this book is available. Thank you so much.